I'm so glad you could join us today. My name's Mary, and I'm coming to you from the Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine. And I have a story and some songs, but why don't we begin with our hello song. Hello, hello, to you and you and you. Hello, hello, to you and you and you. A big hello, a small hello, a hi hello, 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 to you and you and you. And hello, hello again. Now, what do we always do first when we start our stories? We do our word of the week. And our word this week is nocturnal, of or during or relating to the night, or active during the night. And if you look at those pictures, you can see they're nighttime pictures. Well, a good example of nocturnal is there are creatures, animals, who are considered diurnal or nocturnal. And nocturnal animals are ones that tend to come out in the night. And this is a book we have called Daylight, Starlight, Wildlife by Wendell Miner. And you can see in this book, he shows you butterflies that are out in the day and butterflies that come out at night to be with the moon. Or deer who are out during the day and a fox who is out at night. Or chubby woodchucks who are out during the day and skunks who you might see at night. So if they come out at night like these skunks, they are nocturnal. So our word this week is nocturnal. Now we like to share these words so that you can all develop vocabulary so you'll know all kinds of words when you get to school. So, word of the week is nocturnal. Okay, why don't we sing The Wheels on the Bus? The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 all through the town. The lights on the bus go blink, 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 blink. The lights on the bus go blink, 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 all through the town. The door on the bus goes open and shut, open and shut, open and shut. The door on the bus goes open and shut, all through the town. The people on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down. The people on the bus go up and down, all through the town. The baby on the bus goes wah, 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 wah. The baby on the bus goes wah, 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 all through the town. The parents on the bus go shh, 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 shh. The parents on the bus go shh, 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 all through the town. All right, now I have a story I'm going to tell. And the story I'm going to tell today is called The Lion on the Path. Now, once there was a husband and wife who worked a farm together. They worked very hard. Well, they didn't have any children yet, so they had to do all of the fields and all of the hoeing and all of the reaping themselves. Well, the wife, she was from a very big family, and sometimes she would become very lonely, and she really would like to go and visit them so that she could catch up on all the family news. Well, one day, they were out in the field together, and they were hoeing. And it was so hot that the woman, she just got hotter and hotter and hotter, and she just kept getting more and more miserable, and she kept getting sadder and sadder, and she kept hoeing and thinking, I'd love to visit my family. If I could visit my family for just a few days, it would just perk me up, because all of this heat is just driving me crazy. So she turned to her husband and she said, please, I'd like to go visit my family. And he said, but you just went a couple of weeks ago. She said, I know, but all this miserable weather, it just makes me want to see everybody again, because when I see them, it makes me so much happier, because sometimes I get lonely. Even though I love you, I'm so used to having many, many people around. No, I understand, said her husband, and someday we'll have a big family, but all right, you go and I'll do the work in the field until you get back. But listen to me, okay? When you leave, I want you to take the path that goes above the village. You know, the path we usually don't take. I know it's longer, but it will be a lot safer for you to take that route, because if you take the path that we usually take below the village, I have heard a rumor that there's been a lion on that path for the last few weeks. Oh, yes, I know the way. I know exactly how to go. Thank you. And she left. But the truth of the matter is, she hadn't been listening. She didn't hear a word he said, and she took the path below the village. Well, the man, he kept hoeing in the field, and suddenly he just got a funny feeling in the pit of his stomach, and he thought, I think my wife has taken the wrong path. Oh dear. So he dropped the hoe, and he ran as fast as he could to the place where the two roads forked. And sure enough, he saw his wife's footprints going off on the lower road. So he ran down it as quickly as he could, and he came to a curve where there was a big stone, and he went around the stone, and there in front of him was his wife, and in front of her was a lion. So very quickly, the man, he grabbed the mbiri that was hanging from his belt that he always had there, and he started to play. And as he played, the lion sat down and began to rock as though he was hypnotized. And the man looked at his wife and he said, all right, turn and run. And whatever you do, don't look back. And she did. He stood there and he continued to play. And then he thought, what am I going to do to get out of here? He thought, I know, I'll take a step back and then I'll turn and run. And he took a step back And the lion stepped forward and was as close as ever. Oh dear, he thought, I'm going to have to do something else. He said, I know, I'll take 3 giant steps backward. That will get me to that rock that was in the curve. And he took 3 giant steps backward. And that lion stood up and followed him and was as close as ever. Oh dear, thought the man. What am I going to do? The lion just keeps following me. Well, I can't just keep playing all day. My thumbs will fall off. But he stood and he played, and the lion sat and rocked as if he was hypnotized. Oh dear, thought the man. This isn't working at all. And just then, he heard a sound down by his ankles. Psst! And he looked down, and there was a rabbit standing next to him. And the rabbit said, you know, I've always wanted to own my own dinner. So, if you give me yours, I'll make sure you get out of here. Oh, gladly, said the man. And without stopping playing, he very carefully reached down to the rabbit, and the rabbit took the berry in his paws, and he continued to play. He said, all right, you better turn and run. Don't look back. Well, the man didn't need to hear that twice. He turned and he ran. The rabbit stood there and played for a few minutes. And then he started to hop. He hopped backwards. And he hopped backwards. And he hopped backwards. And the lion thought that was odd, but he just kept following, and he followed, and the rabbit just kept hopping, and the rabbit hopped, and the lion moved forward, and then the rabbit, he hopped, and 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 he pop, landed in his rabbit hole. Well, the lion just stood there. Shook his head, and he thought, all right, I was coming down the path, and there was a woman, and I thought, well, I'll have her for dinner. And then there was a man. I thought, well, I'll have him for dinner. And then there was a rabbit. And he was a lot smaller, but I thought, I'll have him for dinner. But now, they're all gone, and the only thing left is this birra, and I certainly can't eat that for dinner. I guess I'll have to go find another path to find my dinner on. And that is exactly what he did. And that's the story of the lion on the path. So, since it's winter and all, I thought it might be fun to sing Jingle Bells before we finish up. So, are we ready? I got some bells to jingle. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, up and all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Ho, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride one horse open sleigh. So thank you all for joining us today. My name's Mary, and I'm coming to you from the Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine. And as we end, we will do our goodbye song. Goodbye, goodbye, and you. A big goodbye, a small goodbye, a hi goodbye, a low goodbye, goodbye, goodbye to you and you and you. And goodbye for this time, and we sure hope you'll come and join us again for music and stories. Thank you.